Welcome to the Distance Relative Podcast. I'm your host, Kel. I'm with my host, Mel. We got a
Yo,
variety of topics to talk about today. Music, sports, current events. Thank you for coming here.
hey,
Enjoy the show.
hey, and our takes is our takes. We ain't the most professional in the world. We just like to get in here and talk and laugh and have fun. And we also like to entertain and we also like to educate all at the same time. So don't take our takes to the bank. Just listen and enjoy and then give us your feedback. Let us know what y'all agree with. Let us know what y'all disagree with, man. And to all the relatives out there, we appreciate y'all for tapping in.
All right, so this episode is going to be about the late, the great, one of my favorite players of all time, probably my favorite player of all time, Kobe Bean Bryant.
Yep. Yep. The Black
One,
Mamba.
one of the ghosts, the Black Mamba. Mr. 81 points on your head.
First of all, before we even start in the episode, man, is that not the coldest nickname, bro, in all of sports?
Man, all of history. The
Like,
Black Mamba.
and the Black, that's bro, that's just the coldest shit ever. Like, when somebody call you that, like he not playing, like he not fucking around, like he mean business.
Man, what, man? Like, they just don't make him like Kobe no more, man. I keep telling people this, man. Like, it was very hard for me to watch basketball. Very, very, very hard for me to watch basketball after Kobe passed away. Like,
Yeah,
I don't even think I watched the finals that year with Cleveland, and I barely watched that shit.
you mean the Lakers?
No, the finals. The year Kobe retired.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what I meant.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh
That year he retired. It was just hard for me to watch the finals that year because I was just so hurt that he retired and he
bro,
never get another ring. Yeah.
bro, you know what's so crazy?
Mm-hmm.
So if you remember, the night he played his last game against
Mm-hmm.
the Jazz, the Warriors was playing the final game of the season, and that was going to decide if they was going to break the record of 72-10.
Yeah, yeah. I
And that
remember
was
that.
the day of Kobe's last game. When I tell you nobody cared, like, bro, we was rocking with the Warriors all year. Like, bro, we want to see them boys break that record. That's gonna be dope. But when it was like, all right, this is the night they could possibly break the record, but it was Kobe's last game,
Mm-hmm.
everybody tuned into Kobe's last game. Nobody even cared about the Warriors no more. Like, and he dropped 60 on his way out.
Man,
God.
what?
That,
Man,
bro, he is the like so we ain't even started the show yet. Like, man, we just
yeah,
we
we
just
just rambling.
like we just rambling about him because me, both of us, like we both really love Kobe. Like
Yeah.
he's not my all-time favorite player, but he's definitely up there. My all-time favorite player is Ray Allen. I know to some people they might think that's weird, but for some reason Ray Allen's just always been my favorite player. But Kobe is definitely in my top three. He probably top two, if I'm being honest. But me and you, we both really love Kobe, so we just really just sitting here just talking about how much we love him. Yeah, we ain't even got into the episode yet. You know what I'm saying? But that's just a passion that we have for him. Like we really love that dude. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I'll never forget though. So me and my first LPO, matter of fact, I'm gonna send this shit to him. I'm gonna send this to him, like when I'm gonna send this episode to him. So like that's basically, if you don't know what that means, that's basically like my supervisor. I was young in the Navy. We did not get along at all, but one thing we got along about, one thing was Kobe Bean Bryant.
Was that bad, man?
Was that bad because he was
Yeah.
from LA. He told me the story about like how he almost didn't go to the Navy because he went to the championship. I think the second ring Kobe got, he went to the parade. Like he got out the recruiter's car just to hop in the parade. So that's how big of a Kobe and a Lakers fan he was. So the next day when Kobe dropped, his last game or whatnot, I was sad. I really went to work like sad as shit, and he was sad as shit too. Like
Yeah.
we just kind of looked at each other. Like that's a one special moment we had. We was sad as fuck that whole damn day at work, man.
but
I'll
but
never forget it.
but they say, that like that's the power of sports, you know what I'm saying? Like sports bring people together,
Man,
And
what
even
very
those
powerful.
even though sports have this like different sports leagues have their own, what I'm saying, biases and uh, discrimination and racism within the league, but it's just something about sports that just bring everybody together. And you seen that with Kobe, like because he was so big overseas because he was like brought up over there. He spoke all them different language. You remember, like I said, we just talking about
Damn,
how
so
much
they started with
we
this
love
shit.
him. But I remember it was the Olympics and they was playing Argentina, and there was this cat named Luis Scola, and you know what I'm saying, like the game was going on, it was getting kind of chippy or whatever. But Kobe started talking trash to Luis Scola, like in his language.
Yeah, I heard
Like
several stories like that because Kobe
like
was
he
smart as
like he
shit.
I guess he was saying something, and I guess they team got to talking in their language, and Kobe was like, nah, I understand that too, and got to talking to him in that language. I'm like, bro, this dude is like, I'm telling you, bro, he just built different, bro. Like the DNA, the makeup is just different. Like, and that's why for me, like I love LeBron. I love LeBron James, but what they always say about LeBron is that killer instinct, that dog. And for me, I don't really hold that against LeBron because that has nothing to do with his ability. That's
Yeah,
just his mindset. But the reason we love Kobe so much is because that very mindset, like he's just a killer. Like he don't, you know what I'm saying? Like he not like, bro, he could be talking to you in the middle of the game, like, but you're not taking him off his game. You know how they say sometimes, oh, like, oh man, I'm gonna get him talking, I'm gonna get in his head. Like, no, you don't want to play that game with Kobe, bro. Like, you don't like you remember when I guess he bet like $500,000 on the free throw line one time, like
yeah.
man, I hit this shot 500,000 on this shot, and he was not playing,
Eyes closed.
like he wasn't playing, like he was dead serious, bro, you cannot play them type of games with Kobe because Kobe is not the one. Like you come playing with him crazy, bro, and he gonna show you what he about, bro. He gonna show you why his name is the Black Mamba, bro.
Just don't make them like him no more. Like, and I think any sport, like, it
Yeah,
just like, I mean, we like you said, we just talking right now, man. They
yeah.
just don't make them.
And I think we talking because we don't like we reliving the great times because we don't even want to think about the bad.
Yeah, it's like hard to me to get
Right.
into this
It's
subject.
it's it's hard, but you know what? We might as well just rip the band-aid off, man. Like,
For sure, for sure. Um, so when I found out that Kobe Bryant passed away, I never forget I was working a little part time job down here in Jacksonville, like a delivery job, and so I was driving, and my sister texted me, and she said TMZ reported that Kobe Bryant died in a plane crash,
mm,
and I was like, man, fuck TMZ, that shit ain't true.
right,
I was like,
right.
man, nah. So I had picked up the food from the restaurant, and by the time I got there to the next destination where I was supposed to deliver the food, ESPN reported it,
Mm,
and it was like
yeah,
the whole world collapsed. I couldn't drive. It's like my steering wheel like kind of turned to noodles. It
yeah.
was like the weirdest feeling like
Yeah,
ever.
it was unreal, and it was so crazy with me. I found out, like when I first found out, it's because of you, like because it's so weird how it happened. Because if y'all remember, the literally the night before, hours before, is when LeBron passed Kobe for all time scoring,
Yep.
and it's so, bro. It's just like my mind just goes crazy when stuff like this happens because I just start. I don't know. My mind just get to thinking. Listen, how weird this is. LeBron was on the Lakers. Kobe played for the Lakers his whole career, right? LeBron was on the Lakers when he passed them. And who was he playing against? Philadelphia. Where's Kobe from?
Philly.
Philadelphia.
Mm.
So the night, so how the irony, just like the night he passed you, it just so happened he's playing for the same team that you played for against the team that's from your home city, your hometown or whatever. And then you congratulate, like your last tweet ever was you congratulating him for passing you. And then it's like hours later, you die like that in such a crazy way. But like I was saying, like I think we was playing 2K, like me and Maul was playing 2K or whatever. And you text me, you text the group chat and was like, man, I hope this shit about Kobe ain't true. Without even thinking, because like literally the last thing I would think. I'm thinking it's probably something about, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause like he just got passed and scoring. So I'm thinking they probably got a video of him saying something, you know what I'm saying, about LeBron, like that's gonna come off in like a hating type way. That's just what I thought. I'm like, what happened? And when you was like, he died in a helicopter crash. I swear I didn't even take what you said serious. I just text you back like, bro, don't even play like that. And then you sent the article like, nah, bro. And it was the ESPN. So as soon as you sent it and I looked at my phone, I was like, nah. I literally turned the game off and the channel was already on ESPN because that's the last channel I was watching. And they was talking about it. And I was like, bro, I was just disgusted. Like, because when it was announced that he died, they said it was like 8 or 9 other people with him. And the first thing I said, man, please, I hope none of his kids was with him.
Man, what
That's the
that's
first, like,
exactly how I felt too,
I
man. I was
said,
like,
when they said
please,
9,
please, please.
I said, when there was 9 people with him, I said, bro, it's already going to be enough that he's gone. But I was like, please don't let none of his kids. And you remember, it took a while. Like, it took a long time for them to, like, they knew he was one of the ones that passed, but it was like a lot of different reports. They were saying that it was so crazy. I remember they were saying Rick Fox was in
Yeah, they
that.
said Rick Fox.
Yeah, that was
I
so,
remember
because,
that.
and you got to think it took hours, and then it was like among the 9 people was his 4 daughters, and I'm like, no, like, and it was just killing me. I'm like, bro, what is going on? And then it finally, after hours of just everybody just panicking, like, no, what's going on? You finally got the reports that it was Gigi and the rest of the people, you know what I'm saying, like her teammates and the family members of her team. Man, it was disgusting, bro. Like, it just killed me, bro. Like, I didn't even, and it was, and another weird thing about that situation, it was the fact that it was Grammy night.
Yeah,
And if y'all know the craziness that just goes on with Grammy night, like that eerie feeling. It's like every time it's Grammy weekend or whatever, it's just cloudy, it's rainy, like the weather is terrible because that time of year, like January or whatever, it was a terrible day, bro. Like the whole rest of the week after that was just,
it was very, very hard for me to
it
like
was
just
just
go
dark.
about
It
stuff.
was
Like, I was
terrible, bro.
dragging everywhere.
Yeah, yeah.
But the crazy thing though is like the crazy thing is I felt a lot of love from like different people. Like, so a bunch of people really hit, like, I've been a Kobe fan pretty much most of my life.
Mm-hmm.
It was so many people hit me up just to say like, how are you okay?
Mm-hmm.
Like people who I have had flat out we about to fight arguments with about Kobe, like from middle
Right.
school and on up. You know what I mean?
Right.
So like I got a lot of love from people. It kind of helped. It kind of helped me, like, cope with it. I was like, you know what? I'm
Yeah.
glad he kind of get. I know it sounds crazy. In my mind, I was like, I won these arguments. He finally get his flowers. Y'all announce him as the best now. I don't care if it's
Man,
too late or nothing.
but you know what's so crazy? Like Kobe is actually one of them dudes that, like when people pass before their time, or like where they just die at a young age or whatever, they never really get their just due. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They never, you know what I'm saying? They never really get celebrated because it's like nobody expected that to happen. Like we was gonna wait, because you got to think he was gonna get into the Hall of Fame, I think
Exactly.
this year. Like, so it was like, bro, your time was coming. But the thing about Kobe is, from the moment he said, "Okay, I'm retiring," if you remember that whole year, like the NBA was all about him retiring. And it was like when he went out with the 60 points, and then after retirement, he was doing like the little challenges for all the players. Like they'll like Giannis asked him like, "Yeah, Kobe, like what's my challenge?" And Kobe told him, "Yeah, your challenge is to win MVP." And he did that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like he was one of them dudes that when he left this earth, he knew the impact that he had, because he constantly got celebrated. And if y'all remember, right around right around the time, like right before he died, it was like the anniversary of him scoring 81 points.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think it was just like a week before. So it was like he was like his name was already in the news already, just for people remembering, like, bro, this man really scored 81 points. So it's like Kobe is one of them dudes, like he always got the love that he deserved. Probably not as like the GOAT, quote unquote, but even if you don't consider Kobe the GOAT, Kobe probably the most respected basketball player ever, because no matter what the era is, no matter what the play style, Kobe is gonna be Kobe wherever.
True.
So and that's the thing I love about Kobe. Like that's what puts him above everybody else in my book, because you always hear this talk about eras, like, oh, could he do this in this era? But could he do this if they was playing like this? No, Kobe could do anything. And it's so
Dominate.
funny. You remember when the Big Three kicked off, and I think right after that, like that's when Kobe was already retired, and I guess they was trying to get him to play in the Big Three or whatever, and
Mm-hmm.
they had asked Steven Jackson, who's a friend of Kobe's. Steven Jackson played in the league for a while, and they was asking him and another dude, like, do y'all think Kobe can handle the physicality of this league or whatever? And like Steven Jackson, like, bro, he took the mic. Like, I don't even think they was asking him, they was asking somebody else. He took the mic out of dude's hand and was like, look, bro, if it's anything concerning a basketball, Kobe can do it. Like, Kobe can handle any league, any physicality, like anything involving a basketball, and Kobe, yes, he can do it. Like, it's no question. Like, and that's just the respect that he had. Like, it didn't matter. Everybody knows, everybody knows that killer instinct, bro. Everybody knows that dog, that monster, that killer, like whatever you consider it, everybody, they know it when they see it. You know what I'm saying? And they know he had it.
Exactly. So we're gonna go into when we first heard about the great Kobe Bryant. So I was 6 years old. I'm painting a picture for y'all. 6 years old, probably 97 ish.
Mm-hmm.
We was playing basketball, maybe 97, 98. Okay, but we was playing basketball outside. It was just me and one of my other friends. We was in the after school program at Diamond Elementary, Eastside Columbus, stand up. So we was playing basketball at Diamond in
Even though you from
elementary.
Phoenix City, but go ahead.
Hey, hold up, chill out. But anyway, so we was outside playing basketball. So you know how it is when you're a little kid. So I said, I'm Michael Jordan. I told him straight up, I'm Michael Jordan. And he said,
Mm-hmm.
I'm Kobe Bryant. I never heard of Kobe Bryant in my life till that day.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he won the game. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Trey, I remember his name. Trey, if you somewhere out here, man, you won that game, man. But that's the first time I heard. So I just like, man, who is Kobe Bryant? Who is Kobe Bryant? And then like my uncles and stuff, and then he started coming on TV more and more. He won the dunk contest, and it was a big deal. And then my dad was a Lakers fan, so like I got,
Mm-hmm.
and my dad is a diehard Shaq fan. I'm gonna correct that. I'm a Lakers fan. My dad's a Shaq fan, so he gonna ride. He gonna ride wherever
Wherever
Shaq
Shaq
at.
go, yeah.
So that's when I first heard about Kobe being Bryant, and then, like it was just from there on, and I ain't gonna lie, I wasn't a diehard Kobe fan like from the jump, like
Yeah.
I loved AI too, but it was just something about Kobe like that,
Right.
like he did not want to lose, like never want to lose. They just don't make players like
he
that.
was just the ultimate competitor,
The ultimate competitor. Like he
and
would
it's
suck the
funny,
soul out of arena. Like
bro.
I've
It
seen
was
it
funny that
many times.
like when you brought that up, I thought about the time where I guess Tracy McGrady and Kobe, they was like playing 1-on-1 or whatever. And Tracy McGrady was saying that, man, we was just playing, we wasn't keeping score. And Kobe was like, no, bro. Like, no, I was keeping score. Like,
Yo,
nah. Like, nah. Like, I was keeping score. Like, I know the score. Like, the score was 12-5 or whatever the score was. But he was telling him, like, nah, bro. Like, when I play basketball, like, I'm serious, bro. Like, I was keeping score. I don't just play basketball because it's cool. I'm not just up here just throwing up shots. Like, nah, bro. Like, I'm trying to win.
exactly. So where were you at when you first like discovered Kobe? Or like how did you discover Kobe? Like, paint the picture.
Bro, it's weird because so I was born in 96 when he got drafted. So in some weird way, like Kobe's been around my whole life,
True.
But the earliest memory that I have is when they won them 3 championships. Everybody a fan of whoever's winning.
Sad but true. Sad.
That's just the
That's life.
reality. You know what I'm saying? So in my household, I'm like my uncles and my pops and all of them, they was just really rocking with the Lakers because they was winning. And I just remember, I think this was after the 3rd championship. So in like 02 or whatever, my uncle, he bought a Shaq jersey. And he like came in with the Shaq jersey or whatever. And he was like, yeah, man, I'm gonna go get the Kobe jersey when I get paid. You know what I'm saying? Like whenever I get my next check, I'm gonna go get the Kobe jersey. And yeah, I remember we was just watching the parade, like we were just literally just sitting there. And like I said, I was a little kid then. It wasn't even really into basketball or whatever. You just into whatever the older people
Man.
in your household.
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Whatever your
Yeah,
family
like
watching,
exactly. So, but I just remember us just sitting there, like watching the parade on TV, and then they kept showing the highlights, and then like every time they would show a highlight, like all my older family members, my uncles and all them, they would just get so hyped, like yeah, like, and then Kobe had the fro back then, and they was calling him Froby.
Yep.
They was like, yeah, look at him with his little fro, like yeah, like. So that's like the earliest memory I remember, and as I got older and more into basketball myself, that's when I started watching it, and I was going out to the park and playing or whatever. Kobe was already the man at that point. You know what I'm saying? He was already the greatest. So it was like, in a weird way, like I kind of grew with him. You know what I'm saying? As my basketball interest started to elevate. His game and his stature, you know what I'm saying, and the aura around him started to elevate. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, but like I said, he was drafted in '96. I was born in '96, so he was literally around my whole life.
That's what's up.
And that's another weird thing. Like I said, my mind always goes crazy. So I think like the people that was born in '96, we got that special connection with Kobe because, like I said, he was drafted in '96. We was born in '96, and our Kobe year, quote unquote, our Kobe year, the year we would turn 24, is 2020, the year he passed.
Wow, I ain't
So
thinking
it's like
about that.
you get what I'm saying? So now our Kobe year will always be connected with him leaving the earth. And it's just weird. Like I said, like when things like this happen, like my mind always just go crazy. But that's that weird connection that me, myself, and I know other people that was born in '96, and we all have that weird connection with Kobe because of that.
Exactly. I can feel that.
Yeah.
So to further go on and just give Kobe credit where credit's due, we're gonna go into Kobe memories. So
Man.
I'll never forget. This is not my favorite memory, by the way. It's not my favorite one. I'm just gonna like go over like a couple. I'll never forget going to Kendrick High School the next day after Kobe dropped those 81 points. It was against Toronto, so I don't think the game was like on TV for real like that.
Yeah.
So I woke up to it in the morning. Like I used to wake up early, like probably like 6 something, just so I catch the bus. And I have ESPN on in my room. I'm looking, he really dropped 81 fucking points.
Even now, that shit sound crazy. Like if you woke up and watched the TV,
it was unreal.
and just saw this, right? Yeah, that shit seems unreal.
I was like, man, I was still dreaming. This shit can't be true. This shit can't be true. I'll never forget that. Like so I was just sitting there watching it. I was like, ain't no fucking way. And then the crazy thing, I don't think I ever told you that the person you probably go talk shit to me about this later. But the person who was coaching the Raptors, he's from my hometown. So like, and then he threw like local basketball camps and stuff like in the city whenever the off season was
What's
going
his
on.
name? Do you
Sam
remember?
Mitchell. Everybody knows Sam Mitchell. Back home.
Yeah,
he won Coach of the Year. He ended up winning Coach of the Year after that.
Yeah.
But
Sam Mitchell's there.
Yeah, really, really great dude. Really great dude. A lot of people, this off subject, but a lot of people where I'm from, they don't necessarily come back and give back to people, but he always made a point to come back and give back to the city. So salute to Sam Mitchell.
Yeah, much respect.
But everybody was like, damn, this motherfucker had me ready to suicide in the summer and doing all this, that.
and he let a motherfucker get 81.
So people were going crazy over there at school. I'll never forget that. And then people, so like, I'll never forget. People, you had a choice. Did you want to go eat lunch or did you want to go to the library? A lot of people that day, they went to the library. You want to know why they went to the library? To rewatch the game.
Right. Yeah, they
on
had
the computer.
They had to go see the highlights or something. Yeah.
To rewatch the game on the computer of Kobe dropping. It was before smartphones. So everybody was in the library watching Kobe drop them 81 points. It was like the craziest shit of all time.
Yeah, that shit is bananas. Like even now today, with the scoring is up, you know what I'm saying? The average of everybody scoring is way higher. And if somebody did that today, you would still be mind blown. Like 81 points is still 81 points, however you look at it. And the fact that he did it back in that era when the scoring was down still, man, that's
poor
just
Jalen Rose.
Bro, and Jalen Rose, like he get the bad end of that. Like
yeah, you
Jalen
can't
Rose
stop
didn't
that.
Like he didn't get all 81 of them points. I don't even think he got 40 of them points. But the fact that
it's just because he was a starting guard in that
lineup, he
lineup,
was the starting guard. And the fact that they had their issues, because if you remember, Kobe had twisted his ankle one time because he landed wrong on Jalen Rose's foot or whatever. So And you know, like I said, we all talk about that killer instinct that Kobe had, man. Maybe in some weird way, maybe Kobe just remembered that and was like,
Oh yeah,
"Nah,
he took that. He
I
took
got
that
something for
personal.
him next time he line up against me, he gonna get it." But nah, like this is my all time favorite moment of Kobe's. So it was that game, I, that playoff game against the Suns when he hit that shot. So to back it up,
You know what? I was gonna actually say this moment too. Go ahead, man.
man, I just love this moment. Because to back it up, so to send it to overtime, he had came down and hit this, like he kind of sidestepped the dude. It looked like a travel. I'm not gonna lie, it kind of looked like a travel. And he threw it up, boom, you know what I'm saying? So he made a shot, we're going to overtime. And then to actually win the game, he came down, dribbled, got to his spot, that mid range. He's just a killer in that mid range. He pull up, hit the game winner, number net, and he doing that, you know what I'm saying, that fist pump,
Mm-hmm.
and then he just so in the midst of him celebrating, he just grabs his jersey and just like moves it to the side. And it's still to this day,
Yeah, you posted it
I
on
don't
Twitter too. That's one of my favorite.
I don't understand what he was doing. Like I think people was trying to say like
He trying to show
he
his
was
heart.
trying to yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
I thought he was showing like to say like, bro, like I got heart, like where your heart at, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
but I guess people was trying to say that I guess the company that made like
The Under Armour
the
gear.
com- yeah, the compression
Mm-hmm.
shirt that he had on, he was basically showing that. I still to this day, I still don't understand why he did it, but it was just the fact that he did it. It was just so cold. Like he just looked in the camera, he just like, like to this day, I used to always say like I said, I took it as he was saying like, you know what I'm saying, that was the heart check. So like even after that, every time like I remember going to the courts after that, every time somebody would hit a shot, they would do that. Be like, man, where your heart at? Like, and they would grab the dude's chest or whatever. And that was just like a big thing. But man, that's my all-time favorite moment. Like that dude, man. And he got even crazier moment. And another one was probably like my close second. I think that if I if I got my years right, I think this was the 2013-2014 season. Whatever season was when he tore his Achilles.
Mm-hmm.
But if you remember, the Lakers had a terrible record at the All-Star break. And I remember watching Inside the NBA, you know, with Kenny and Charles and all of them. And they was clowning, like basically saying like, you know what I'm saying, they not going to the playoffs, you know, it's over. You know what I'm saying? They might as well pack it up. And I remember somebody was basically like showing Kobe that quote, like, you know what I'm saying, this is what the guys on inside the NBA had to say about y'all chances of making the playoffs. And I remember he looked the reporter dead in his face and he was like, it ain't a question of if we gonna make the playoffs. Like, we making the playoffs. And when you was looking at, and you know, right after they showed that, you know, they would show like the probability of that happening, and then they were showing like, oh well, if they gonna make it to the playoffs, then they gotta win, you know what I'm saying, 20 of the next 30 games. And you know what I'm saying, to make a long story short, Kobe did that. Like he literally put that team on his back and drugged them to the playoffs when they had no business being in the playoffs because they wasn't a playoff team. They wasn't playing great basketball, but he just refused to settle and he just went and got it done and ended up paying the price because he tore his Achilles real bad and couldn't play in the playoffs, even though he had did all that work to get them to the playoffs. But that right there in my book, and I actually told this to one of my homies one time. That's the moment right there in my book where he became the greatest of all time. When I saw him do that, I was like, nah, there's no better basketball player than him because a lot of people had just been like, you know what, this season is over. We can come back next season, whatever. But he was like, nah, Like, I'm not going for that. Like, even if it kills me, I'm gonna get us there. And that type of mindset, that type of mentality, like, it can't be duplicated. Like, you either got it or you don't. It's just as simple as that. And
It just
Kobe
don't
got it,
make
man.
people like that. I'm not gonna name no players, but I don't think not too many players in the league right now would do that. It's like, all right, we
No.
just get next year. Not too many. It's a short list of star players. I ain't talking about just like, you bench for them. But star players that actually like, you know what, I'm gonna just we get into the playoffs still. It's like
Right.
Kobe just a magical player like that.
Yeah.
I never forget one of my other favorite games. He stole the Phoenix when we hit that game winner.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
crazy.
that was amazing. I watched that live at my grandma's house. One of my favorite moments when he was going through the allegations and whatnot. So
Mm-hmm.
we ain't gonna get too much in that.
Definitely not.
But he was going through the allegations and stuff, and he just hopped off the plane. So the speculation on ESPN, like, oh, we don't know if he's gonna play the game. He just had court. He just
Mm-hmm.
flew in from Denver. I think they might have been playing Portland or somebody like that. Kobe smoked the team he was playing. Like
Yeah.
I'll never forget. Yeah, I think he had 40. He didn't have. It wasn't an 81 night, but how he did it was amazing. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna find the video and post it on our page probably tonight.
Yeah, but I know exactly what you're talking about. Like,
He
because I remember that. Like, they kept showing the graphic of him.
leaving the
You know what
courtroom
I'm saying? Yeah, leaving the courtroom, getting on the plane, coming into the game with the suit on, fresh out of court.
and he smoked them that
Oh,
day. I'll never forget
man,
that. And I wasn't a
man.
diehard Kobe fan then. Like I said, I like AI at the time. He was still
Yeah,
one of my favorites, but AI was, Kobe. I really became the Kobe fan I am today. A lot of people probably not gonna relate this. When Shaq left, it was just
yeah.
something
Oh, yeah,
about like,
definitely,
okay, fuck
definitely.
this. I'm all I got. I'm gonna
Yeah,
most people thought it was career suicide. People thought he was gonna go
right.
to New York, Chicago, and other teams after Shaq left. Yada yada yada. Kobe's like, nah, fuck this. This is my home.
Mm-hmm.
Never left. That was Kobe. I ain't gonna lie. If I was Kobe, some of them years when he was putting 37 points a game and all that other shit,
Yeah, when he had
I probably
when
would
he
have.
had
He could have.
Kwame
He could have
Brown.
really went to some teams and caused trouble. I think it was, New York at the time,
He
Chicago.
had he had Smush Parker, Kwame
He
Brown,
took them boys to the man. Bush
Chris
Parker.
Mim.
I used to, and you know what? Kobe made me think Smush Parker was good at one point. I thought he was like, man, Smush Parker, he could get together, be an all-star. Man, Smush Parker went to the Heat, he got trash. It was the Kobe
Bro,
effect.
I remember there was a graphic one time. They was like, I gotta find it, whatever. But it was like, yeah, on this day in history, on this day in '06, the backcourt of the Los Angeles Lakers combined for 63 points. Kobe had 61. Smush Parker had 60.
Smush Parker, man. They hated each other.
Yeah,
Because
man.
Smush
Like,
Parker thought he was
that's
like
another
an
thing.
all-star too, like I did, but
Yeah. But that was, bro. That was the point I was trying to make earlier. There was a lot of times where Kobe was on some teams that had no business in the playoffs. Like, that's why I was like, people like his playoff record. I don't even care about it, but it was the fact that he was getting to the playoffs with them weak ass teams, bro.
what Andrew
Like, when your net,
Bynum, man,
no,
people thought
but
Andrew Bynum
and
was
that's the
good.
thing.
Oh,
Like, no, yeah, but like that's the thing. Like, Kobe had all them boys playing at their top peak because you saw, like, when Andrew Bynum left the Lakers,
I don't think he played another
bro.
game in the league.
I don't even think exactly. And if he did, who cared? Like, he was no good at that point. Like he had all them boys. Like, when you played with him, you knew he was gonna hold you accountable. You was gonna be playing at your best of your abilities because he got bigger aspirations. Like, he's not satisfied with mediocrity. Like,
At all.
just getting by ain't cool.
At the fucking
Like
all. People don't
like
understand
he
that.
on a mission, and if you on the team, then that means you part of that mission whether you want to be or not. Like,
Man, it's just a different level of like competition. Like, and then he did in the West too. Like,
right.
you know what
And
I'm
there was
saying?
some loaded teams in the West.
The
Like, the
West,
Suns was The Suns was great. The Mavs was always consistent.
Year
Like
in, year out in the
the
West.
The Blazers had a couple good teams.
And
Like
the
yeah,
Kings
it
at
was
one point, like we could go on
yeah.
and on. He did it in the West. The
Hmm.
West was tough. The West
Right,
was tough in the the 2000s.
and not to mention them Spurs.
And the Spurs, man, he had to go against the Spurs. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
it it's, you just can't you can't write this stuff. But
yeah,
so on to the next one. So we talked about this. I mean, we go on and on about Kobe. Me and you talked about this, and then this what really
yeah,
made this what really touched home for me with the whole accident, the tragic passing. Like
hmm
I kind of fell in love with the retired Kobe. I
yeah,
fell in
man,
love with the
yeah.
retired
He
Kobe.
won it. He won an Emmy, dog.
I fell in love with retired Kobe. It wasn't just, and man, I ain't gonna lie, for my own selfish reasons, I wanted him to come back and play and win a ring with the Lakers and get that ring, that sixth ring and all that. But I enjoyed seeing him retired with his daughter. We both had,
Yeah, man,
I got twin
absolutely.
girls, and then at the time Mel he had a baby on the way, a girl on the way.
Yeah, I had a little girl on the way,
That
and
shit
that was
just
so crazy.
touched
That's why
different.
it hit me even extra hard because the fact that not only did he lose his life, his daughter lost her life, and all the other little girls
Yeah.
that was on that plane too, they all like, and that just killed me even more because, like I said, I had a daughter on the way at the time, and all the love that I had for Kobe mixed with the fact that he lost his baby girl too, man, that was just the ultimate like gut punch right there. Like I ain't gonna lie, that had me sad for so long. Like and I knew like,
It still don't
and
sit
this
right.
was yeah, like even to this day it don't. But it was like when that happened, I knew 2020 was not gonna be was not gonna be a good year, bro. Cause it started off like that. I was like, man, what are we in
I ain't
for,
gonna say I
bro?
didn't
Like
know it was
this
gonna
is
be a
crazy.
good year, but like when shit just kept happening, shit on shit on shit just kept happening. To me, it was like not surprising when stuff was happening. It wasn't even surprising because that kind of
Yeah,
just set the tone for me in so
yeah.
many ways. Like to take that huge
That
loss, like
that
I
just that
basically lost a piece of my childhood
absolutely,
early in the year.
absolutely.
Early in the
Yeah,
year.
Kobe raised us, man. Like everybody who came up, like I said, you ain't even have to be a basketball fan. Like I just found out the other day, like Kobe, he was the as far as like athletes, like his name was used the most out of anybody in hip hop, as far as like people like referencing him in
You
songs
would
and
think
like, you
MJ,
know what I'm
but
saying?
it's
Just
Kobe.
yeah, but it's Kobe and MJ second, but Kobe is miles ahead of it. Like Kobe is miles ahead of him. But that just shows you the impact that this man had. Like, so to lose him like that, man, it did something to everybody. Like the whole world was affected by that.
Yeah.
Like not just basketball fans, you know what I'm saying? Not just Laker fans, like literally the whole
Like
world.
I said, and he was the most. I know people hate LeBron, but I think he was probably the most hated player when he was playing. But he got
At one
embraced so
point,
much.
at one point, yeah. But like I said, when like him dropping 81, and I remember it was like 1 month where he averaged 30 for the whole month. Like when they seen him put them teams on his back and go so hard, it just became laser focused. Like I said, when he transformed into the Black Mamba, that's when it was like, bro, you hating on him, like you reaching. Because when you see the passion that this man have and the way that this man go and leave it all out on the floor, how can you not respect this? Like how can like you don't love the game if you don't love Kobe,
Exactly.
bro? Because Kobe just embodies everything that's good about the
Like
game,
I don't like
like that drive,
exactly.
right? Go
like
ahead,
how
bro.
people like I don't like I can understand as a sports fan, like I wasn't a diehard LeBron fan. I always said, man, he ain't got the dog in him. You know, I was one of the people,
Right.
but I respect him more when he won that first Cleveland title. When he won that Cleveland title, I respect him more.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna lie to
Yeah.
you. I don't like
Yeah.
Peyton Manning because I'm a
Because
Tom Brady
that was
fan.
the not.
But I respect.
Yeah.
You have to respect greatness.
You
You
got to
gotta
respect
respect
greatness, bro. You
greatness.
have to. That and that goes back to our very first episode when we was talking about Jay-Z, and it was like, bro, you don't have to be a fan of him to know who he is and to respect that he is who he is, bro. Like his stature is what it is, not because we gave it to him, no, because he earned it.
It's that motherfucking man, like without
Right.
question,
But
without
yeah,
question.
right.
Kobe's that dude. He embodies
Yeah. And this is another one of them episodes that can
on
go
and on and on.
all day. Like we can sit here and do this all night because this is nothing. Like this, like cause like I said, we both really love dude. Like we both really like he was really that dude to us. Like this is easy for us to talk about Kobe, you know what I'm saying? Because we just love him that much, you know what I'm saying? And y'all can hear the passion in us talking because that's just how much we you know what I'm saying? That's just how much we really rock with dude. Like
He has shaped both our lives so much in so many ways. Like that competitive spirit, like
absolutely.
the not giving
Yeah.
up attitude, and not just
Mm-hmm.
so quick story, and then I don't mean to like bring race into this, but I was kind of upset at work. Somebody walked in and was like, I don't see the big deal. Like Kobe's not a hero. He ain't never do this. He ain't never, you know. Okay, I get it, but there's so many young minority kids.
Mm-hmm.
We don't understand a lot of, like military stuff growing up, and we don't understand heroes. But Kobe gave us something to aspire to be. I'm 5'11".
Right.
I'm never making it to the NBA. Never probably was. On my
Right.
on my best day, I probably couldn't give you more than 15 points in the game in a rec game at that. In a
Ooh.
rec game at that. That's a stretch.
Ooh.
On my best day right now. Right now, I'll probably give you. I don't think I give you that. I'm just be real. But as a
I
kid,
don't think you can, bro.
he made me believe. He made me
Right.
believe I could go if I worked hard and I did what I was supposed to do. I could go drop fucking
Mm-hmm.
100 on somebody just off the strength that I believe that shit.
Yeah. And I'm working harder than him. And that's the thing about the Mamba mentality. Like, and Kobe actually said it. Like Kobe said, don't look at what I've done. Look at how I did it. Because that applies to everything. And what he meant by that is that laser focus, that dedication, that hard work. You know what I'm saying? That fact that he's not gonna let somebody work harder than him. He's not even gonna let you have the satisfaction of saying that you put in more work than him. Like no, and that can be applied to
In life.
anything. Like whatever you doing. Like if you get up and go jog, man, just have that Mamba mentality when you do it because you know, like bro, if you looking like man, I know I can go another 5 minutes. Go, you know what I'm saying? Do
And
that.
then
Like
we did the Kanye
yeah,
episode last. You remember the Kanye commercial?
man,
Kanye
bro, that
said,
that
"How many
commercial
more
is,
grams I
bro,
need?
that commercial is so
More.
fucking funny, bro. Like, right,
I'm more
and it's like
successful.
he was
More
he
successful."
was joking. He was like it was jokey, but it you know what I'm saying, like you could still take something from it. It was like how many records can my records break? Like more records. like
You could
bro, we
apply
ain't
that shit
done.
to
Like
so
as
much
long
in life.
that's what I'm saying. Like as long as you here, you got an opportunity to elevate. As long as you still here, you got an opportunity to do more. So yeah, nigga, you go and do more. Go break more. And it was so funny how he ended it. Like, you welcome.
He did it being hated. He was not
Like, yeah,
the most favorite player at the time. People really rooted against Kobe. You could go back to that commercial
yeah,
when he retired. People really rooted against Kobe. Like my friends, like that was a good thing. But then I finally got my last wish on arguments. Arguments like they gave him their respect. They gave him,
Yeah.
they gave Kobe respect. I had so many arguments about Bron, T Mac, Vince
Yeah.
Carter,
Yeah.
KD at one point. That he's better than Kobe. Like, nah, I always held Kobe high. I never forget this kind of off subject. I was talking to a girl at this time, and I hope she fucking hear this shit. I hope she fucking hear this shit. This was Kobe passed away, right? And almost every girl, like in my past, that knew about my love from Kobe, hit me up and just like to check on me, like see how I was doing, this and that. She didn't do it. She didn't do it that day. And we're not together. We're not together. We ain't talk like and over. And then I kind of attribute that, like, I mean, as a life. I know this sounds so corny and stuff, like it kind of Kobe's death kind of showed me like who really cares about me,
Yeah,
who
who know
knows
me?
me, who
Like
cares
who been
about me.
like who really knows me and who really been listening. Like
Exactly.
all these times what I've been saying, you know what I'm saying? And I remember I had that same thing.
With
Like,
Nip, right?
yeah, with Nip, but even with Kobe. So I remember my cousin hit me up and he was like, yeah, bro, like I know how much you loved Kobe, bro. Like I know that shit affected you crazy. Cause like I said, like he know me
Mm-hmm.
personally. So he know and that was just like I said, it had been some months since I talked to him, but it was like that happened and like it was like when that happened, that made him think of me because that just showed you how much love I had for him. And so he hit me up and was like, yeah, bro, like you one of the motherfuckers that I know like loved Kobe, like that was your dog. So I know you affected by this. And I was like, yeah, man, what I'm saying? That was my dog, you know what I'm saying? But so I know exactly what you're talking about, bro.
Exactly. But we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up because it's
Yeah.
about 10 o'clock. I still got a
Yeah.
few 2K games in me tonight before I go to work. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
man.
I'm gonna try to have some Kobe moments. Again, like the podcast is only gonna get better. We really working
Mm-hmm.
hard to bring you guys the finest quality of work we can. If y'all got any inputs or anything, please let us know. If you want to reach
Right.
out for interviews or anything like that, please go like the Facebook page. We got that YouTube page up. We got the Instagram page. Please go like it. And, I appreciate y'all for listening.
Word, man. Another one in the books, man. We'll catch y'all on the next one.
All right. See you guys next week.
Peace.